What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Prime Status, and today we're going to be reacting to some of the most violent animal attacks in history. Now, viewer discretion is advised because what you're about to hear and see is very graphic. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
From loyal dogs to exotic wild creatures, humans have kept animals as pets for centuries.
Fetch. Lord!
Oh shit, is he eat? Is
Forming
that dog
bonds
eating
with
her?
creatures both domesticated and untamed. But what happens when these bonds break under the weight of an animal's primal instincts?
St. Louis man viciously
bulls are
attacked by
pretty strong,
chimps
man.
while doing his master's thesis research.
In this collection of stories, we explore 15 shocking cases where pets turned on their owners, leading to tragic, and at times almost unbelievable, outcomes.
I am Charlie Nash. I'm here today to make sure that what happened to me.
I'm from 911.
Send the police!
What's the problem?
The chip killed my friend! He
Oh
licked
my
their face
God,
off,
man.
please! He killed everybody!
Terry Vance Garner and his pigs, 2012 Oregon.
A shocking story from the coast. A farmer eaten by his own hog. KVAL's Ricky Marinon says the sheriff's department is now trying to figure out how this all happened.
In a chilling incident in 2012, 69-year-old farmer Terry Vance Garner was discovered partially consumed in his hog enclosure on his farm in Oregon. Known for
Whew. I'm thinking I have a good hunch of what happened, and it's probably like, he passed out or something, and then, whatever, took place afterwards, with the animals is kind of a tragedy, But, to be overcome by a pig, and not having the ability to, defend yourself and escape is, just not making a lot of sense to me. So I'm thinking,
for his affinity with animals and his
pretty much on
dedication
that
to pig
lines.
farming, Garner had entered the enclosure to tend to his pigs, but tragically, he never came back out. His remains were later found by a family member, sparking questions and shock within his community. The cause of Garner's death remains uncertain, but it's speculated he might have suffered a sudden medical event, such as a heart attack or stroke, which caused him to collapse within the pen.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense because, I think of like pigs, as like opportunistic, animals, They may not seem like they could do harm, but if you're in a situation where you're disabled or you fall on the ground and you're not able to, maneuver yourself and get up back quick enough, I think that's a situation where like, you could definitely get in harm's way. And clearly that's what happened with this guy right here. I don't know if he like passed out and like he was dead on the spot and then whatever happened, but it's pretty much a situation where he wasn't able to defend himself.
Authorities are leaning towards a heart attack or an animal
Yeah,
attack
pretty
as
much.
the reason for Garner's death. However, they say because of the strangeness of the situation, they are having a criminal investigator.
Another possibility is that he
wouldn't
was
say that.
accidentally knocked over by the pigs, which can weigh several hundred pounds. Garner's vulnerability in that
think a
moment could have
pig
led the
would knock
pigs
you
to
over
act on
like
their
that.
natural scavenging instincts, a behavior not uncommon in animals under stressful conditions.
Being attacked by this bear, he's coming back. And I'm
Pig went
bleeding.
berserk just
And
now.
I'm gonna die.
Kellyanne Walls and her black bear, Teddy, 2009, Pennsylvania. In 2009, Kellyanne Walls tragically lost her life to her pet black bear, Teddy, in an incident that shocked her community and emphasized the inherent danger of keeping large predators. Walls, who owned several exotic animals, was cleaning the bear's cage when the attack occurred. Known for her hands-on approach with her animals, Walls had kept Teddy since he was a cub, likely believing that their bond would prevent any danger. However, this tragic event illustrated the unpredictability.
This is the thing with wild animals, man. Once it doesn't matter. Like, they have that natural born instinct to go back to default mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have that natural born instinct to go right back. And the moment you think that everything's okay is the moment that, you know what I'm saying, you lose your life. And then it's all over in an instant like that.
Of even long captive wild animals. As Walls began her routine cleaning, her children and a neighbor watched nearby. In a matter of moments, Teddy suddenly attacked her,
Dang.
pinning her to the ground. Despite desperate attempts by the neighbor and children to distract the bear,
Suddenly attacked her. No warning, no nothing. Just suddenly out of nowhere, boom. That's what you get. That's what you get with wild animals, man, when you try to domesticate them.
and pull him off Waltz, Teddy's size and power were simply too overwhelming. The neighbor ultimately shot the bear in an attempt to rescue Waltz, but by then, it was too late.
Tragic, man. Tragic.
Release. Ready?
Oh, man. Wolf dogs, man. I'm telling you. You don't play around with them, man. Don't play around with them. Oh
Sandra Piovesan and her wolf dogs, 2006, Pennsylvania. Sandra Piovesan, a dedicated animal enthusiast, was known in her Pennsylvania community for her deep connection with her wolf dogs.
Today we are returning to see the wolves of Norway.
Over the years, Piovesan had amassed a pack of 9 wolf dog hybrids, part wild wolf, part domestic dog.
Look at them eyes,
believing
man.
she could bridge the gap between human and animal through close contact
Look at
and
them
care.
teeth.
These hybrid animals, while
God.
visually stunning and often loyal to their handlers, retain wild instincts, making them notoriously unpredictable. Piovesan invested much of her time in her pack, maintaining a high level of involvement
them
in
eyes,
their daily
man.
lives. Friends and neighbors recalled her passion and the unique bond she claimed to have with each animal, viewing them as family. However, in 2006, Piovesan's trust in these hybrids proved tragically misplaced. During one of her routine visits to the enclosure, the animal suddenly turned on her in a brutal and
Suddenly. Look at the eyes. Look at the teeth, man. Look at the size, man. Suddenly. Keyword suddenly. You never know when it's going to happen. You might think everything's good, bro. And then it's like that over in a flash.
unexpected attack leading to her death.
Damn.
By
I'm
the
not
time
even gonna
authorities
ask what the
arrived,
dog's
there
eating
was
right
little
there.
they could do beyond controlling the animals.
Bro. Hippos are not to be fucked. Hippos are one animals that you do not want to mess with in the animal kingdom, man. Like, leave them alone, bro. Look at the size of that thing. Look like he's gonna freaking gobble that guy up like it's nothing.
Marius Els and his hippo, Humphrey, 2011, South Africa.
Hippos are one of the most dangerous animals in the world.
Let them know.
They kill approximately 500 people each year in Africa.
Marius Els, a South African farmer, had an unconventional pet relationship with Humphrey, a 2,600-pound hippo he had raised from infancy. Known for his affection towards the animal, Els described Humphrey as like a son and believed he had successfully tamed the massive creature. Hippos, however, are known as one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, responsible for more human fatalities than many predators due to their territorial nature and immense strength. Els's relationship with Humphrey gained international attention, as many were both fascinated and concerned by his closeness with the hippo. Despite the warnings from wildlife experts and the challenges of domestication, Els continued to interact closely with Humphrey, even allowing him to roam freely on his property. He was often seen swimming with Humphrey and engaging in close physical contact, dismissing concerns that the animal might one day turn on him. Tragically,
And when it says one day turn on him, you're talking about baby Humphrey versus adult Humphrey. Because when these hippos, they become adults, they become very territorial. Don't matter, like friendship, all that stuff, that's out the way. Now it doesn't matter if you raise that hippo as a little baby, you know, and it becomes a full grown adult hippo. Once they get to that stage, it's like, hey, you are now on my land. You are now in my territory. You must die. And, you know, tragically, this is what happened to, you know, with this guy right here. You know, unfortunately, you know, he raised this hippo from birth and then, you know, on his own land, you know. But like I said, you know, when these animals, their wild instincts kick back in, it's like all that domestication stuff is out the window.
in 2011, those fears came true. Humphrey attacked Els, dragging him into the river where he was later found dead, showing clear signs of a hippo bite. This incident underscored the fact that hippos, despite raised in captivity, retain
Bro, not even lions and alligators want no beef with hippos, bro. That should let you know. Not even lions or alligators or crocodiles want no beef with hippos. Bro, hippos are literally like the tanks of the the wild, bro. Like they're literally freaking mini tanks. You raise a tank and then you get blown up.
their wild, aggressive instincts and are notoriously difficult, if not impossible, to domesticate safely.
I am Charla Nash. I'm here today to make sure that what happened to me never happens to anyone else ever again.
Charla Nash and Travis the chimpanzee, 2009, Connecticut. In 2009, Charla Nash's life changed forever when she was attacked by Travis, a chimpanzee that had been raised in a human home by his owner Sandra Harold in Stamford, Connecticut. Travis was well known in the community, often spotted riding in cars and appearing in local television commercials. Despite his calm demeanor and familiar settings, Travis had increasingly displayed signs of aggression as he aged, which experts believe may have stemmed from frustration and a lack of socialization with other chimpanzees. On the day of the attack, Nash arrived to help Harold contain Travis after he escaped. However, the chimpanzee lashed out with terrifying brutality, severely injuring Nash's face and hands in an attack so vicious that it left her permanently disfigured. The incident made headlines, drawing significant public attention to the risks of keeping large, intelligent primates as pets. Following a harrowing recovery and extensive surgeries, Nash courageously shared her story.
Tell you sitting across from you how dramatic the difference is.
I've come a long way.
Igniting debates over the legality and ethics of owning such animals. Pam Weaver and her camel, 2007, Australia. Pam Weaver's death.
I'm curious though, is it legal to own these animals? Like, is it legal? Like, after all these events, because I know these events have happened, like, you know, early 2000s and stuff like that. Anyone, like, in the comment section, like, drop below, is it still legal to, like, own, like, wild animals like these? Because I don't think it is. Because with everything that's happened, there has to be some law. I don't know. There has to be some law or something that prevents people from trying to domesticate wild animals that should belong in the zoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's freaking tragic, man.
Death in 2007 at the hands of her pet camel stunned Australia, highlighting the often overlooked risks of keeping large, powerful animals as pets. Weaver, a farmer's wife, had received the young male camel as a 60th birthday gift, but over time, the animal began displaying increasingly erratic and dominant behavior. Though camels are generally seen as gentle and even-tempered, especially when trained for transport or tourism, their behavior in captivity can vary dramatically, particularly in young, unneutered males. On the day of the incident, the camel knocked Weaver to the ground and attempted to mount her in a display of dominance common among male camels.
You said mount her in a display of dominance? That camel was trying to do what I think it was trying to do, or... Because that sounds pretty...
Tragically, Weaver suffocated under the camel's weight before help could arrive. Her death shocked many who were unaware of the risks associated with domesticated camels, sparking conversations about their potential for aggression, especially when they reach maturity. Mark Vogel and his exotic pets, 2004, Germany. Mark Vogel, a 30-year-old from Dortmund, Germany, had a passion for exotic animals, particularly venomous creatures. His apartment became infamous in 2004 after authorities discovered his body surrounded by an extensive collection of exotic pets. Vogel's home was filled with tarantulas, lizards, scorpions, and snakes, with his prized pet being a deadly black widow spider. Tragically, Vogel's fascination with these dangerous creatures ultimately led to his untimely death. According to the investigation, Vogel likely suffered a bite from his black widow spider, resulting in a venomous reaction that immobilized him. As he lay incapacitated, his other pets, including lizards and snakes, began to scavenge his body.
My take on this is this guy probably was messing around with that black widow in his hands. Because if you're gonna have, insect that poisonous, that venomous, and not take extreme caution, like, that's on you. So I feel like you just don't get bitten by a spider that you own unless you're just fumbling around with it in your hand, and then that happens, and it's a freaking black widow. Like the moment you get bitten by that stuff, if you don't get medical attention in I think it's a couple of minutes or whatever. I don't know the facts of it, but you will die. You will die. And I think it's just carelessness. You could own all the exotic animals you want, but you got to be careful.
Unaware of the boundary between owner and prey, by the time authorities entered the apartment, much of his body had been consumed by the creatures he had loved and cared for, creating a nightmarish scene that shocked even seasoned responders. Following Vogel's death, the collection of exotic pets was safely removed, but the incident prompted significant debate regarding the risks of keeping venomous or potentially dangerous animals in private residences. Dan Brandon and his python, Tiny, 2017, UK. In 2017, Dan Brandon, a 31-year-old reptile enthusiast from Hampshire, UK, was tragically killed by his pet python, Tiny. Brandon's 8-foot python had lived with him for several years, and he was deeply attached to the snake, often posting about her on social media. Known to handle her frequently and share a close bond with her, Brandon's love for his reptiles was well known among friends and family. However, this close relationship came with inherent risks that would ultimately prove fatal. On the day of the incident, Brandon was found dead in his room with Tiny nearby, and an investigation revealed that he had likely been asphyxiated by the powerful constrictor. The coroner confirmed that Tiny had wrapped around his chest and neck, either in a display of affection or due to mishandling, which can inadvertently trigger a snake's instinctual behavior to constrict. The fatal outcome brought attention to the often overlooked risks associated with handling large constrictor snakes, especially for owners who may not fully understand the animal's instinctual responses. Ronald Huff and his monitor lizards, 2002, Delaware. In 2002, Ronald Huff, a 42-year-old from Newark, Delaware, met a tragic end in the company of his unusual pets, several large carnivorous monitor lizards. Huff had a fascination with reptiles and kept a collection of monitor lizards known for their sharp teeth, powerful limbs, and sometimes aggressive nature. Huff's choice of pets may have seemed eccentric, but he valued them deeply and took pride in caring for these exotic creatures in his home. Unfortunately, Huff's affinity for his reptiles turned deadly when he failed to check in with family members for several days. Concerned, his mother alerted authorities, who arrived to a horrific scene. Huff's body was discovered in his home, partially consumed by his monitor lizards, which were roaming freely around the room. It was later determined that Huff may have suffered a medical episode, such as a heart attack, and collapsed, leaving him vulnerable to his carnivorous pets, who likely began scavenging out of hunger. His reptiles, whose survival instincts are strong, likely saw no difference between a deceased animal and their usual meals.
Yeah, see, back to natural instincts right there. I'm thinking more likely I'm not sure if monitor lizards have, because I know Komodo dragons, once they bite their prey, the prey runs off, like, there's a certain amount of time before, that animal collapses, and then the Komodo dragon follows the scent of the animal to know where it's at and then consume it. I'm not sure if monitor lizards have that same thing. So it could be a situation where, let's say he was bitten by one of them, and then over time, like, he just lost consciousness and, unfortunately passed away, and then, tragedy, just kind of struck that, that way. Either way, just horrible.
American grad student fighting for his life after being attacked by 2 chimps in South Africa. Each of those chimps.
Andrew Oberle and a chimpanzee attack, 2012, South Africa. In 2012, primatologist Andrew Oberle suffered a near-fatal encounter with 2 chimpanzees at a sanctuary in South Africa. Oberle, a graduate student studying primate behavior, was passionate about his work and had traveled to South Africa to conduct research on chimpanzees at the Jane Goodall Institute Chimpanzee Eden. However, during a routine observation, he crossed an inner fence meant to separate humans from the chimps, unaware of the danger that awaited him on the other side. As he entered the restricted area, 2 adult male chimpanzees attacked, dragging Oberle under the main fence and into their enclosure. In a brutal assault lasting several minutes, the chimps inflicted severe injuries, including the loss of fingers, a foot, and multiple facial wounds. Oberle's strength and survival instincts helped him to endure until sanctuary staff intervened, managing to fend off the chimps and get him to safety. He was quickly airlifted to a nearby hospital where he underwent multiple surgeries and a prolonged recovery process. The incident underscored the formidable strength and aggression chimpanzees can exhibit, especially when their territory or safety feels compromised. In the wild, chimps are known for their fierce protection of social hierarchies and territory, and even in captivity, they can be highly unpredictable and dangerous. Chimps have muscular builds and incredible grip strength, capable of overpowering an...
Yo, chimps are unbelievably strong, man. Chimpanzees and most other apes, unbelievably strong. Don't let me even get started on the gorilla, because you already know. But chimpanzees are in a league of their own when it comes to like strength and agility. Like they will rip you apart, as you can see. You know.
Adult human with ease. Unlike some other animals, their aggressive behavior is not limited to defense. They may attack with the intent to incapacitate or kill, driven by instincts that are impossible to fully suppress in a controlled environment. Oberle's case echoed other similar attacks, such as the widely known 2009 incident involving Charla Nash, who was severely disfigured by a pet chimpanzee in Connecticut. Like Oberle, Nash suffered life-altering injuries in an attack that reignited debates about keeping primates in captivity, whether as pets or in sanctuaries. Al Simon and his pet bull, 2003, Minnesota. In 2003, Minnesota farmer Al Simon faced a tragic end due to an encounter with an unexpected aggressor, his own pet bull. Simon, a seasoned farmer, was well accustomed to working with livestock and had raised his bull from a young age. While he was experienced in handling large animals, he likely underestimated the bull's natural instincts, believing that familiarity and frequent interaction would help tame the animal's aggressive tendencies. This incident, however, would highlight just how unpredictable bulls can be, even for the most seasoned handlers. On the day of the incident, Simon entered the bull's enclosure for what he likely thought was a routine task. But bulls, even when raised in close quarters with humans, retain strong territorial instincts and an often unpredictable aggression, particularly when they sense any slight disturbance in their environment. Simon's bull, weighing over a ton, became unexpectedly agitated and charged at him. Bulls, known for their immense strength and territoriality, can become aggressive with little to no warning signs, especially when in close contact with a perceived intruder or threat. Despite Simon's familiarity with the animal, the bull's strength and sheer mass proved too much for him to handle alone. The attack resulted in fatal injuries, emphasizing the volatile nature of bulls and the real risks farmers face. Bulls possess powerful muscles, particularly in the neck and shoulders, which allow them to strike with considerable force. Furthermore, their instinctual behavior to protect territory or assert dominance over perceived threats can make them dangerous, especially when they reach full maturity. Ruth Hodge and her pack of dogs, 2013, Pennsylvania. In 2013, Ruth Hodge, a Pennsylvania resident, faced a tragic fate at the hands of her own pets. A pack of dogs that included several pit bull mixes. Hodge had raised these dogs herself, yet she often voiced concerns about their increasingly aggressive behavior. Over time, Hodge noticed the dogs exhibiting dominant behavior.
I don't know, man. I really, I like pit bulls. I think pit bulls are great pets, but, there's that uncanny side, that still puts them in that category of dangerous animals. Just like wolf dogs, you know what I'm saying? It's like pit bulls are great to have as pets, and then at the same time, it's like, there's like that underlying risk that's there that you just never know. That uncertainty, when it comes to pit bulls. But great animals, though. I don't know. But pit bulls, man, they're cute, but, for some reason they might turn out deadly if you're not careful.
And even aggression toward one another, which left her uneasy. However, she loved her pets deeply and was hesitant to part with them despite the risks that came with managing a large pack of powerful, spirited dogs. On the day of the incident, Hodge entered the area where her dogs were kept. The circumstances of what triggered the dog's aggression remain unclear, but it's likely that a small action, possibly an attempt to control or reprimand one of the dogs, escalated quickly. Dogs in packs often display heightened territorial and defensive instincts, and when an altercation starts, pack mentality can kick in, leading others to join the fray. Unfortunately, once the aggression began, Hodge's presence and familiarity with the dogs offered little protection, and she was fatally attacked before help could arrive. This devastating incident illustrates the challenges and risks associated with maintaining a large group of dominant dog breeds. Dogs kept in packs.
So I guess it says large group of dominant. I says that the key phrase, large group of dominant dog breeds. So I guess if you want to own a quote-unquote dominant dog breed, for example, like a wolf dog or maybe like a pit bull or a German Mastiff, one of those, strong, powerful dogs. You don't want to own them in groups because, they could inhibit that. They could exhibit that pack mentality, which could be fatal. And it's pretty much what they're trying to say here.
Can revert to instincts that prioritize their role within the pack hierarchy, which sometimes results in aggressive displays. When one dog becomes aggressive, the others may join, driven by a primal group dynamic. Many trainers and animal behaviorists caution against keeping packs of large, strong breeds without adequate socialization, training, and separation when aggression becomes evident. A.J. Merrick and his Bengal Tiger, 2003, Illinois. In 2003, A.J. Merrick, a big cat enthusiast from Illinois, tragically lost his life to his pet Bengal Tiger. Merrick, who had a deep admiration for these majestic animals, raised the tiger from a young age. Despite his love and familiarity with his pet, Merrick faced an unfortunate reality that many exotic pet owners overlook. Even when raised in captivity, big cats retain their wild instincts and unpredictable behaviors. Merrick had ignored safety protocols that professionals typically recommend, assuming his bond with the tiger would override its natural instincts. On the day of the incident, Merrick entered the tiger's enclosure for a routine feeding, but something went terribly wrong. The tiger, which could weigh up to 500 pounds, suddenly turned on him. With immense strength and
Tiger said, "Yo, I'm ready for some big boy meat." Yeah, rest in peace, man.
sharp claws, the animal quickly overpowered Merrick, resulting in fatal injuries. Such incidents underscore the fact that regardless of an owner's perceived relationship with a big cat, the animal's instincts can be deadly in a matter of seconds. The tragedy also sparked renewed scrutiny of the laws surrounding private ownership of big cats. At the time, some states, including Illinois, had few restrictions on keeping such exotic pets, a reality that led to a surge in privately owned tigers, lions, and other dangerous animals. However, following incidents like Merrick's, several states tightened regulations, emphasizing the potential hazards to both owners and the public. Bobby Hodge and his wolves. 2004, Texas. In 2004, Bobby Hodge, a wildlife enthusiast from Texas, died in a tragic incident involving his beloved pet wolves. Hodge, captivated by the beauty and mystery of wolves, had devoted years to caring for a small
beloved pet wolves. Beloved. Looks like they ain't love you. This whole time they were plotting, waiting on the come up. Sheesh.
Pack in captivity. His fascination with these animals led him to create a personal sanctuary, hoping to bridge the gap between humans and one of nature's most misunderstood predators. However, even with his commitment to raising them, Hodge overlooked the inherent risks associated with handling such powerful, instinct-driven animals. One day, as Hodge entered the wolves' enclosure for routine care, the wolves turned on him unexpectedly. While the details are unclear, experts note that such attacks are often triggered by changes in pack dynamics, stress, or instinctual behavior. Wolves, even those raised in captivity, have highly social structures and complex hierarchies, which can be disrupted when humans attempt to interact closely with them. Tragically, Hodge's close contact with his wolves placed him in a vulnerable position, ultimately leading to fatal injuries. Hodge's death emphasizes the dangers of handling wild animals with pack instincts, especially those as strong and unpredictable as wolves. In captivity, wolves may suppress some natural behaviors, but their core instincts, particularly their pack mentality and territoriality, remain. This incident also highlighted the importance of understanding wolf behavior and respecting the boundaries needed to manage these animals safely. Siegfried and Roy's Tiger Attack, 2003, Las Vegas. In a performance on October 3, 2003, One of Las Vegas's most famous magic acts, Siegfried and Roy, took a shocking turn when Roy Horn was attacked by Manticore, a 7-year-old white tiger. Siegfried Fischbacher and Roy Horn were world-renowned for their dazzling shows that featured exotic animals, especially big cats. Their show, an iconic part of the Las Vegas entertainment scene, attracted fans from around the world who marveled at the seeming harmony between humans and wild animals. However, that night the illusion of control was shattered. As Roy performed alongside Manticore, the tiger unexpectedly veered off script, seizing Roy by the neck and dragging him off stage. Manticore's 400-pound strength proved overwhelming, leaving Roy with life-threatening injuries. The immediate aftermath saw Siegfried and stage handlers desperately trying to stop Manticore, but the damage had already been done. Roy was rushed to the hospital where doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize him, ultimately saving his life. However, the attack left him with long-lasting injuries that impacted his speech, mobility, and ultimately ended his career as a performer. The public reaction was one of shock and disbelief. Fans and animal advocates debated whether the attack was an instance of wild animal unpredictability or an accident that could have been avoided. Some speculated.
What do you think? It is unpredictable. Wild animal unpredictability instincts. Come on, man. Let's not play dumb here. Let's not play dumb.
That Roy's health might have played a role, as he reportedly suffered a stroke just before Manticore's aggressive behavior. Siegfried later argued that Manticore was not attacking, but rather attempting to protect Roy, noting that the tiger hadn't fully bitten down. Nonetheless, the event changed perceptions of animal performances and raised questions about the ethicality of using wild animals in shows. In the aftermath, Siegfried and Roy's legendary act was indefinitely suspended, and the attack set off a series of industry-wide changes. Many entertainment venues and circuses began to reconsider the role of wild animals in performances. Animal rights organizations used the incident to advocate for stricter regulations on exotic animal ownership and performing animal safety. The event's impact even resonated in Hollywood as public sentiment shifted towards CGI animals in films rather than live animals on set.
Well, I guess there you have it, man. Like, you know, wild animals and their owners, losing their lives to this type of thing, man. It's tragic. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think in the comment sections below. I would love to hear what y'all think, man. I just honestly think that, owning wild animals and trying to domesticate them is just insane. But let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Prime Status. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification for the next video I'm gonna upload, because I'm gonna be uploading more regular. All right, peace.